Hey guys, today we're taking a look at my Clear Vice Dragon deck. This deck was requested by Lamito Anti, and this was a very difficult deck for me to make because there isn't a lot of support for clear cards. You just kind of have to look into the tech that's available. This is definitely more of a fun deck, I just made it to kind of play around with its effects, and I'm still working on it. Definitely still a work in progress, but I do like some of the things it can do, and it's definitely very interesting. So, the star of the deck is Clear Vice Dragon. The big idea behind this card is that he's not affected by our field card, and he always wins battles. Whenever he attacks, he becomes double the attack of the opponent's monster. So that leads you into doing some very big plays, and you could do damage very quickly. And whenever he's attacking, he just wins battles, which is very, very nice. Obviously, the bad thing is that if he's attacked, you're going to lose him. A big thing about him is also if he would get destroyed by card effects, you can just discard a card. So he's kind of like Prime Material Dragon, which makes him very useful. And then we have Grandmaster Hanzo. So using the Ninja engine here to summon Clear Vice Dragon. Obviously Hanzo is somewhat of a beater too, but also very useful just for getting Clear Vice Dragon out. Double Coston, 1700 attack, decent stats, and also can be used for Clear Vice Dragon. It could be used for a Double Tribute, which is very, very nice. Lava Golem, very powerful in this deck. We'll talk about the combinations with Clear Vice Dragon and Clear World. But obviously with Clear Vice Dragon, that's 3000 damage easily, which is very, very nice. Cyber Dragon, giving us some special summon ability to bring out, Clear Vice Dragon a little bit quicker, and just giving us some additional power. Malefic Cyber Dragon, when we're running a focused field card, this card is very, very powerful. In addition, doesn't really get in the way of Clear World because of Clear World's effect on darks, which I'll talk about, but a very powerful overall. Dark Arm Dragon, running mostly dark, even though we're running a low monster count, still like having this on the field because this is just a very useful card in the right situation, but definitely debatable. Could be more useful if you're running more monsters, more dark monsters. So for the spell cards, running Messenger of Peace, very important for this deck to stall out. Stalling is very, very good, especially because with Messenger of Peace, Clear Vice Dragon has 0 attack normally, so he won't be stalled, which is really, really nice. So the field card for this deck, Clear World, basically you have to pay life points for this card, but based on the attributes of the monsters you have on the field and your opponent has on the field, different effects have to activate, and all of them are very, very different. The ones to probably keep in mind is the dark one, which is if you control 2 or more dark monsters, you can't attack. So with Malefic, Cyber Dragon, you don't have to worry about that because you're only bringing out 1 at once. With fire monsters, whoever has a fire monster takes 1000 damage during each of their end phases. So with Lava Golem, for example, your opponent will be taking 2000 damage a turn, which is insane and leads to some of the great power of this deck when you're locking them down. In addition to Lava Golem. Fires of Doomsday, helpful to summon out Clear Vice Dragon. Forbidden Lance, protecting our monsters, very useful. Zerozerock, helping us, kind of like Messenger of Peace. Your opponent cannot attack Clear Vice Dragon, which is very, very good. 1 Day of Peace, again stalling, very important. Dark Hole, reinforcement of the army in order to get out our Hanzo. And Terraforming to search out the field card. For the traps, we're going to have the Super-Transformation card, obviously, to get out Clear Vice Dragon. Safe Zone, very, very good in this deck to protect monsters that we need, especially, Clear Vice Dragon. Clear Vice Dragon isn't going to be attacking directly. And then some staple traps, not too much to say there. So now for the extra deck, not going to be very important in this deck, but we still have, 4 stars and some 8 stars. Master Key Beetle with our dark monsters, those are the only 4 stars we have. Photon, Exciton, Silent Honor, Blackship, Maestroke, Excalibur, and Blade Armor with the Hanzos, which can be useful, definitely. And Gagaga Cowboy. A few 8 stars, won't be getting this out very often. If you want to use 2 of your Clear Vice Dragons, just in order to bring these guys out, it's up to you. Like Hieratic Sun Dragon, Felgran, and Zombie Steen with 2 level 8 dark monsters. Also 2 Cyber Dragons, obviously, to get out Malefic. So now for the side deck, like I said, there's a lot of tech you can use in this deck. For my side deck, again, it's just recommended cards that can also work with the main deck. It isn't a side deck for matches. These are cards you want to think about when you're building this deck, but there are a ton of other cards, and I'm sure you guys will let me know down below. Malefic Stardust, again, very helpful to protect our field card. Totem Dragon, if you're running a full dragon build, very useful to bringing out Clear Vice Dragon. Darkness Metal Dragon, if you're running a dragon build in this deck, run this card, definitely, very, very good for this deck. Summoning Clear Vice Dragon easily. Hardened Arm Dragon, again in a dragon build, or just using this card in general to protect your Clear Vice Dragon. Prime Material Dragon can be a really interesting card in this deck. If you use this card and make him fire type, you'll be gaining life points instead of losing them with Clear World, which is very useful. Obelisk, other god cards. God cards don't get affected by Clear World because they're divine, and you're running a tribute heavy deck, so this can be very useful. Mausoleum of the Emperor can be very useful, but that life point cost can be pretty steep. Dragonic Tactics, another way to summon Clairvice Dragon if you're running a full dragon build. Mist Body, another useful way to protect Clairvice Dragon. Trade In, giving you some draw power. Not a lot of draw power in this deck, but if you want, you can run Trade In, Allure of Darkness, Pot of Duality, things like that. Scroll of Bewitchment, changing attributes can be very useful with how Clear World works. Wabaku, Spirit Barrier, things to protect you can be very, very useful in this deck. DNA Transplant, again, just really annoying your opponent with its effects. And Give and Take can be very, very useful to special summon whatever card you want on your opponent's side of the field so they have to deal with its effects on top of Clear World. So that's my Clairvice Dragon deck. Again, very fun to play, not too competitive because it's very specific in how it works, and there's not a lot of support. I wish this deck had all the support it should have because there's supposed to be more clear cards that just don't exist right now. But when those come out, I'm hoping to make maybe more of a clear deck, which can be really, really interesting. But if you guys have your own clear decks, I'd be surprised. But if you do, post below. Let me know in the comments. Talk about what cards you use. You can make suggestions for me. Like I said, there's a ton of tech in this deck, so maybe some of those cards I didn't think about you can talk about or mention in the comments below. But thank you guys for watching. I will see you later.